All right, everyone, it's Dokkan time again, and today we're going to be doing a how to build for the free-to-play physical exchange unit Kid Trunks that exchanges into Kid Goten. So, just as a straight-up first and foremost thing, this unit is a free-to-play unit. You should take it into free-to-play content, or you should be very peculiar on where you're taking this unit. I would highly suggest you only take it into intelligence-based bosses if you're going to be using it. And do not depend on it. This is not a unit you depend on. This is a unit you bring along either to challenge yourself for funsies or because you have to. Those are the only reasons you should bring this unit. I think this can be a good free-to-play unit, but only in very specific scenarios. And currently, as of the time of writing and / recording, there is no perfect partner for this unit to thrive in a perfect scenario. Because with one unit, with one good partner that changes orbs into physical orbs, this could be a very, very solid, good free-to-play unit. But, alas, we do not have that many good orb changers for physical, specifically, that this unit can go on the same team with. So, let's just kind of get into it. As far as 200% leader options go, Majin Buu Saga, Kamehameha, Hybrid Saiyans, that's Fused Fighters, which this unit does count as a Fused Fighter. Those are what you're going to be primarily focusing up on. My first and foremost biggest suggestion would probably be a double Gotenks team, in a sense, you know, kind of similar links that they'll have with Trunks, or probably the Kamehameha team. Otherwise, maybe even the Super Saiyan 4s might be good. It's a really dependent on who you're bringing along with the team, But otherwise, free-to-play unit, leader skill is irrelevant. Super attack is greatly raising attack and defense and has a 50% chance of stunning the enemy. So there is a little bit of utility there if you have the ability to stun in a fight you take this unit into. Basic effects are as follows. Key +2 attack and defense 150. And for one turn from the character's entry turn, damage reduction rate 30%. So basically he has damage reduction 30%. And then when attacking, 150% attack, and for every physical key sphere obtained, attack +40% and defense +20%. With one or more physical key spheres obtained, launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. 2 or more key spheres obtained, defense +150%. And with 3 or more physical key spheres, guards all attacks. And then starting from the 4th turn, you may exchange into Kid Goten. The exchange condition is literally just 4th turn from the start of battle. Active skill is fusion. So for Trunks, his fusion, I believe, transforms into the skinny Gotenks, and greatly raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage, attack +30%, and changes int key spheres into physical key spheres. So yes, he does technically orb change, but this is only for one time only. Literally, you can only do it once, and that is all. And once again, you can activate it starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. His links are going to be slightly different from Goten's, as he is Trunks. So he has Prodigies, he has Royal Lineage, and then all the rest should be basically the same. Innocence, Prepare for Battle, Buddying Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, and Shattering the Limit. Because he is both Goten and Trunks, they have Goku family, Vegeta family links. And their best link partners are, of course, going to be themselves, other Gotens, other Trunkses, other Vegetas, and all of the family units if you're exchanged into Goten, and so forth and henceforth. Obviously, one of the glaring best units to pair him with is the Physical Brats, Physical Goten and Trunks Super Saiyan EZA. As far as a free-to-play option goes, I would say a free-to-play option for this unit would just be the Intelligent Super Saiyan Trunks. They're going to share only 4 links. But technically speaking, this physical Trunks is a best leader for slot 1. I think the only thing I'm a little bit worried about was I think this unit needs to be more on a Super Saiyan team. Was I right about that? No. So this unit is technically just a dodge or die unit in slot 1, and is supporting Hybrid Saiyan. So this is like literally the definitive best partner for specifically the Trunks side of the unit itself. If we go ahead and go over to the Goten side over here, let's take a look and see if anything changes. So the super attack does change. The super attack actually changes to sealing instead of stunning. So that's kind of nice. The passive effects are going to be very similar. Key +2 attack and defense 150. I think that's literally the exact same as, yeah. So let's just kind of like look at these side by side and see just how different, if at all. Like, I don't think there's going to be too many differences here. So for Goten, when a key sphere is obtained, he will guard all attacks for 1 turn, and that is it. It is a one-time only. He just guards for the turn when you collect a key sphere. The same thing kind of is said for Trunks. As his first entry into the fight, he has damage reduction of 30%. Now, when attacking, Goten gets 150% attack. It looks like Trunks also gets that. And for every type key sphere obtained, which is any type of key sphere except for physical, he gets attack plus 15% and defense plus 30%. And with any other type of key sphere obtained except for physical, he launches an additional attack with a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. And with 3 or more key spheres obtained, defense plus 150% when attacking, and then with 5 or more key spheres attained, has damage reduction rate of 30%. So the first thing that I notice here is that they change it from Trunks requiring physical key spheres to Kid Goten, who requires any type of key sphere. It doesn't matter what kind of key sphere he gets. So this is technically a good thing. In one hand, you could just, once you get the ability, exchange into Goten and, you know, just gather as many orbs as possible. But there is one glaring thing I need to let you guys know here, and it's the fact that guard is more important than 30% damage reduction. So guard is just going to offer a more reliable level of defense. Much more reliable level of defense than only 30% damage reduction. I would say Goten is great turn 1 because he'll have both guard and damage reduction. And then you can just grab whatever key sphere type has the most on the field, and that is why it's kind of good to exchange into Goten. But once you get past that turn and you lose the guard, it's actually better just to exchange back into Trunks. Because he has the guard. The guard is just so much more beneficial. But now hear me out. If you're fighting an intelligence boss, then you can just switch to Goten. You have natural guard, you have the damage reduction, and then he's a much better unit in general. Because he's getting more defense. He's getting more defense for every type key sphere. It can be any type key sphere. And as long as you're collecting 5 or more, you got 30% damage reduction, with almost a 70% chance to additional. So, with that being said, this is why I was saying, if you're going to be using this unit, try to take it into an intelligence fight. Or at least make it so that intelligence is like the final boss. That would be my first worry and concern. But otherwise, it's technically better to be in the Trunks state because he has guard. But the problem with that is that we don't have reliable physical orb changers in the game as of right now. Most of them are just kind of dead DOA, dead on arrival units, or just dead in general right now. And they all need easy A's or super easy A's or something. But currently the only reliably good unit that you could run would be the physical Super Saiyan Trio. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of teams that you'll be able to really mix together to be benefiting from that. And you don't really want to be, keeping those two on the same rotation, because the physical Super Saiyan Trio requires you to have an all-out struggle or movie heroes category ally on the same turn to be getting that defensive buff, part of the only reason that you actually use the bloody unit. And the Goten Trunks unit is just neither. So it's not an all-out struggle. It's not a movie heroes. So he can't gain that buff. Otherwise, the physical Super Saiyan Trio... let me pull up the physical Super Saiyan Trio so that y'all understand... you understand, which unit I'm talking about here. This unit right here is the one that I am speaking of. This is technically... this free-to-play unit's best partner, purely because of the orb changing, because of the extra defense, But the problem is that you would have to either A, have constant floaters that are all out struggle or movie heroes. And the other issue being is that this would mean that you would have to put them both on a team where they're not benefiting from a double Super Saiyan trio situation, which is perfectly fine. I don't think that's a big deal. The first team that comes to mind that you can actually do this with is going to be the Family Kamehameha team. But that's pretty much it. That's the only team, because that's the only 200% option. Unfortunately, at the time of writing, this unit kind of got, well, cucked. And did not receive any of the categories for the new categories. There was no new categories added to this unit, unfortunately, which means there is, as of right now, there is no 220% option for the Super Saiyan trio. So whatever team you add this unit to with the trunks will be only 170 or 200 in the Kamehameha Gohan scenario. So let's just kind of go take a look at the defense numbers so that you can understand why this unit can still be good. It just, you need key spheres. All right, so we're over here on the Twitter X website with Halvard. Compliments to you, my dude. So when you are Trunks specifically, with 6 physical key spheres obtained, you can, if you triple super, you can get up to about a 1 million defense marker with support. That's not too hard to do. 220 lead, off-turn rotational support. I can see it happening. I can see this happening easily. The part that I don't see happening realistically is the additionals. I would say this unit should additional once on average. If you're really unlucky, you'll only super once and just get normals. So I would presume that you're either only going to get 1 super or 2 at most. Don't count on that third one coming out because that's your hidden potential. With that being said, this is with 6 key spheres. So meaning the higher you go up on these key spheres, the higher that defense is going to go up. So if you take a look up here at the top, with start of turn defense on just the 1 super, we're at only 155k defense. That's like nothing. That's garbage. With 6 key spheres obtained, you're at the 576 marker. So I've tested this unit out a little bit, and I can comfortably say that with 11 physical key spheres, you can get pretty comfortable around the 1 million defense marker. I think that's pretty reliable. 1 million defense with guard, with 30% damage reduction, could be absurdly good in a very specific scenario. But really, you should be aiming for like 11, 12 plus key spheres as of right now with this guy. But let's go take a look at Goten and see if his defense numbers are looking a little higher. And honestly, from the looks of it, it's a lot higher. Like the maximum possible defense goes up to 1.5 million on a triple super. That is what? That's a 500k extra increase on defense. Yeah, that's a 500k extra increase on defense. The only problem, as I said before, was that Goten only has guard for the 1 turn. So if you were in a situation where you were fighting an intelligence enemy, you'll have your natural guard, and then you'll have your damage reduction, and that would be the perfect kind of sweet spot to be running this unit. You give this unit 11 key spheres, has an orb changer with him, and he's easily hitting above the 1 million plus defense with 30% damage reduction. And then if you're fighting an intelligence enemy, then, you know, you have the guard as well. So honestly, it's not a bad they are not a bad free-to-play unit in a very specific vacuumed up area. It has to be a very specific boss, I feel. But I do see that you could get some use out of this unit. I don't think they're as bad as I originally thought they were. So, there's one other thing I would like to touch up on before we get into the builds and roll tips. This unit does have special equipment, as I was saying before. This special equipment actually is very much what I would consider mandatory. So if we actually go back over here, you can see that Halvard did not specify that this is with orbs. If you've looked at Halvard's builds before, you will know that with defensive orbs increase, you can dang near double these numbers. Dang near double. Well, it's not going to double, but it can get pretty bloody close. So he doesn't have calculations for defense-wise, as far as with defense orbs go in. So Trunks can get up to level 9. He's got level 9 attack orbs. He's got level 9 defense orbs for bronze. That's a 900 defense increase. He's got freaking level 3 additionals, level 3 crits and dodges. But the most important part about this is that he has like level 6 orbs for dodge and additional and crit. But also, this unit does have level 5 defense equips for additional and dodge. This is extremely important because this is an extra huge amount of defense along with plopping in additional or dodge, which is what you should be probably aiming for with this unit. But yeah, like that's insane that you can get up to this height of defense with him. That's a 900%. That's 900 from defense bronze, and this is 600 from defense silver. And then if you go into the gold, then you can get up to a 900 again. So that's 9, that's 18. That's a 2400 extra defense. Now, let me go over to my account here. So this is the event that you will go into where you will actually be able to acquire these orbs specifically. And let me just show you, those real quick right now before we really discuss anything further. So this is going to be the Tale of the Super Warriors Dragon Ball Z edition. You get the EX skill orbs for Trunks specifically on the last stage, which is stage 15 on Z hard only. You can increase the chance of drop with Earthbred fighters. So obviously the best thing you can do is, Earthbred fighters, hit LRs. There is several free-to-play options in the game to be doing this. There is several free-to-play options that you can grab for this unit. There's several free-to-play options. So when I say you don't really have an excuse not to try and grind for it, other than you just don't want to, I do mean that. If you don't grind for it, then I don't know what to say. But there's still several other. Even if you don't have like the world tournament units, let me see if I can really. Yeah, no, you don't even need the world tournament units, and you don't even need the login bonus units either. This is a full. Hold on a second. This is a full LR free-to-play team that you can hop into the event with, get the maximum drop rate percentage, and then the support memories, you can either use the Oolong, you can use the Bula and Vegeta when shopping, and then there's a fresh new one right here, which is the Android 18's fee. Each of these will give you 85% drop rate increase chance for when you go into these events. So just keep that in mind. It's relatively easy event. It's not difficult. You just sit there and grind for it. Just hit auto and just wait to see what drops. So super easy. I would highly suggest that you just basically go for the defense orbs. That was my first and biggest suggestion. Grab the defense orbs. Get the level 9 bronze defense. Get the level 5/3 dodge, silver, and gold. The gold actually has a level 6 and level 3. So just keep that in mind. And as I said, there's also the additional ones. So you can get the additional versions of the defense equips. Those are also ones I would highly suggest aiming for, as they would probably benefit the Trunks unit the most. So let's see what we got out of there before we move on to the builds. Loading. This video is going a lot longer than I thought it would. So we did actually get the level 9 bronze right there. That's actually kind of impressive. Unfortunately, I've been grinding this for like 6 bars. I've wasted like 6 bars of freaking, and I have like own 6 of these. But anyways, so you can get them relatively easy. It's very relatively easy to acquire. So, let's just go ahead and move on to the actual build section of this video now. So, with the builds, this is a free-to-play unit. So, when I tell you that this free-to-play unit, you should just be focusing up on whatever you want, is because that's what I mean. Is like you should just kind of focus up on whatever the heck you want because it's a free-to-play unit. I mean, I have 2 grinded up right here. As you can see, I have 2 grinded up on the screen just because I can. Just because I can. I'm grinding up this one. I focused up on additional and dodge, and on the other one is more of a crit build, just in case I wanted to do more damage for whatever free-to-play event I threw him into. It's free-to-play, man. You can grind up multiple copies. It's not a big deal. Not a huge deal whatsoever. But yeah, so I would highly suggest that you just kind of roll into the additional side. At the end of the day, that's where you're going to have to lie onto. This unit doesn't have built-in dodge. The dodge is just there as a backup. Additional is what's is going to actually make them survive. This unit will not survive pre-super. It has to super attack first. If this unit doesn't super, you're just SOL. So AoEs is the bane of the existence of this unit because an AoE will straight up kill it. It'll kill you. So just keep that in mind. So I would go for a level 17 additional. You can go for level 20 if you so wish. And then give him a level 9 dodge. And then, of course, equip the additional and the additional gold and silver equips. That's a level 6 additional equip with a level 3 defense. And then a level 5 additional with a level 3 defense. And then, of course, the level 9 bronze orb. Remember, this right here is the minimum without counting this right here. Without counting the equipment. Moving on to the other build, like I said, dodge is also another thing you can go for. As you can see in my build, my personal build for this unit, I did go ahead and just do this. I gave him a level 15. I focused up on additional though. I mixed it up. This is the mixed up build. I have the mixed up build on the screen if you so chose to go that route. I gave him the level 6 additional and level 5 additional with the defense equips. But if you really wanted to just go full dodge, you can give him the level 6 and level 5 versions of dodge. Unfortunately, this is what I've been grinding for. I've been grinding for the level 5 silver. So as you can see, I already have the level 5 dodge one. There's no reason or worry that you should have to mixing it up because these are EX skill orbs. And you can flip-flop back and forth as you so please. There is no reason to really worry about it. It just kind of flip back and forth. As you can see, I don't have the level 5. I have grinded 6 bars of this nonsense. But I did get the level 4 4 times. Unfortunately, it also gives less defense. And that's why I don't want to switch to it. Because if I switch to it, I'll have less defense. And overall, I want more defense on this unit. So you can go for a mixed up build if you so choose. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day because it is a free-to-play unit. Personally speaking, I would rather just kind of have the extra additional. I've even considered rebuilding it a little bit and taking out some of that dodge and just plopping more into additional because it feels better to get the additionals and get the extra defense. It really does. It feels like the unit's more reliable with the defense as a free-to-play unit. It dodge or die is dodge or die, you know? So, that's entirely up to you at the end of the day on that build. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the roll tips now. So, as far as the roll tips goes for this unit, I would honestly just say, you know, throw it on whatever team you can. But if you want the utmost best leaders specifically for this unit as a free-to-play unit, it is a defensive unit at heart. Throw it on either of the Vegito Gogeta exchange units. 200% options being the Fused Fighter Super Saiyan 4s or the Kamehameha Gohan. And as far as partners go, the Super Saiyan Trio technically is the best partner because they physical change orbs. If you plan on switching over to the Goten side and you just kind of want to go with whatever and you don't care about the guard being active, then you just need to have a change key sphere unit to get as many key spheres as possible at that point. But either way, as Trunks or Goten aside, the intelligence Super Saiyan Trunks or the physical Bratz, the physical Goten and Trunks unit is going to be the best partner specifically with this unit if you want to keep him on rotation. But otherwise, best slot position is just honestly float the unit. Float the unit, hope you save a orb manage enough to get enough orbs for him to survive. And that's just the best thing you can really do. So, but anyways, everyone, this was a highly requested video. I honestly am a little shocked that people really wanted to see what my build suggestion was for this unit because I felt like it was just kind of obvious. But I do gotta say that I am a little bit surprised on how defensive they can be versus how much they will be realistically. Is up to you as a player and how you decide to utilize them and which fights you go into. So let me know what teams you are going to be running with this physical exchange Goten and Trunks. And thank you for watching. Have a good day and a good night.